Welcome to our new section, Be the Change Conversations. This exciting new section is to inspire you to think outside of the square, to inspire you to be the change within your industry. In Claire's words, from a book she once read, The Purple Cow, be the purple cow in your industry. Feel free to put forward someone either locally, national or international that you think is being the change in their world. Young Sunshine Coast entrepreneur Claire de Lune is in tune with what makes her heart sing. While pushing the boundaries as a business pathfinder, Claire has learnt from experience that following her heart's desire and working with passion leads to success. In fact, one of her many enterprises, the Velo Project, had a massive turnover in its heyday before it was sold to finance her next business endeavour. Meet Claire de Lune. Welcome, Claire.
Hi there, thanks for having me.
No, thank you for your time today. Claire, can you give us a little bit of your background, a little bit about you?
Sure. Well, I grew up in the country west of Toowoomba on a grain farm where I was the eldest of 4 kids. I had a father who was a politician and my mother was a stay-at-home mum as well as an interior designer. We went to school out there for the first part of our schooling, and then I went off to a boarding school on the Gold Coast. I went to university. I've done 2 degrees, one in communication and one in design.
And where are you actually from?
Gosh, that's a tricky one. When people ask me that question, I usually say John Darien because that's where my heart sits really comfortably with, but I have travelled the world and I currently live on the Sunshine Coast. But I really have lived in so many different places and been influenced by so many different things that I feel when I think about where I live, it's so many different places.
Cool. So tell us about your family. Do you have children?
Yes, I've got 2 kids. Orlando, I think I've lost my hat. I have Orlando, who is 6, and Daisy, who's 4.
Cool. And partner?
Yes, Zeke is my beautiful husband, who I do everything with, all my business endeavours, and have raised my beautiful family. And
And what did Zeke do in the past?
Zeke was an aeronautical engineer, so he used to design all the simulator programs for the fighter jets.
Wow.
The Boeing fighter jets.
What was your very first business?
My very first business was Sage Creations, which is a graphic design business. I still do graphic design, but I don't do it under the name of Sage Creations anymore. But Sage Creations was a project or a business that came out of my graphic design experience and my degree, where I felt like rather than working for people, I could actually do my own thing and that my skills would be really useful to a number of different industries. So I launched that probably about 10 years ago now, and I've been constantly building that, and it's been a really interesting experience to work with lots of different businesses across lots of different industries.
So tell us about your businesses since then.
So I created the Velo Project at Mooloolaba, which was an eclectic little cafe in the back streets, which was very much needed at the time because there weren't many places that were serving specialty coffee. So we did that, and we did it very well, and we became very popular. I then created Factory the Project here in Maroochydore, which is a restaurant, bar, nightclub and amphitheatre space. It is a rather large venue, 1,000 capacity, and I've also worked in the backpacking industry. Many people wouldn't really know that, but I've worked doing interior design, styling, marketing for Mooloolaba backpackers. I own the Cotton Tree Backpackers as well. And I'm currently in the process of creating a business called Storytell Productions, which is the focus of Storytel Productions is creating beautiful film and video for the music industry.
Cool. So we've obviously chosen you for our Be the Change conversations because we really feel that you are being the change in everything that you do. So has it always been your intention to be different?
I think so. I think when you do things differently, you are able to stand out in a personal sense as well as a business sense. I think it makes the world interesting to be able to be unique and offer something innovative to people. Otherwise, everything would be too boring in my mind. Yeah.
So explain the purple cow theory to us.
Okay, so the purple cow theory is about being the purple cow in a field of black and white dairy cows. So, you know, if you're driving past a field of cows and you see one that is purple, of course you're going to want to explore that. You know, why is that cow purple? And I think that I've taken that principle with me on my journey in business and in life in general, and it's just always worked for me. I think that if you can be the change and the uniqueness in your industry and you can do it well, you'll always be successful.
Tell us, and so this was something that you read somewhere, wasn't it?
Yes, it was actually a book I was given by a friend.
Cool.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this newest business, Bespoke Habitats. How did that start? And tell us about that.
So I'm working with a guy who helped me actually build the factory on Bespoke Habitats. Bespoke Habitats is a response to the nature of people these days in terms of wanting flexibility, wanting self-sustainability, wanting to be able to be flexible with where they have their dwelling, their home, their space, their unique little spot to be in this world, whether it's for work, whether it's for play, or whether it's even for travel. These bespoke containers can be moved around the world so easily because they're ISO registered. So you just literally pop your home on the back of a boat and you can set up anywhere around the world, you know, on a friend's property or on a property that you might have acquired somewhere. It's quite brilliant.
So what part do you play in this?
Sure, so I'm doing all of the marketing, the design in terms of the aesthetic of the brand, managing the Facebook page, doing all the online marketing, and then I'm actually custom designing container spaces for people who don't want a standard container. So they'd like a little bit more uniqueness with their space, so yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your design background.
So my first experience in the design industry was when I worked for the Moon Group, formerly known as Moon Design, in Surrey Hills in Sydney. I worked with them on and off for about 12 years in Sydney and London. I then, after doing all of that and getting great experience on great clients such as Sydney Theatre Company, Sydney Symphony Orchestra, Sea Foley Swimwear, that sort of level of client, I then went and did a design degree at the Queensland College of Art.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone looking to step outside of the square?
I would say to people, the most important thing is to follow your heart. If you follow your heart's journey, usually you will find a space that feels comfortable for you. Although I will say that it's important to step outside of your comfort zone. It's important to challenge yourself and put yourself in situations that you wouldn't always be comfortable in, to really try and work towards your dreams and push past some of those fear barriers. So most importantly, follow your heart, work hard, and put yourself out there.
Awesome. Where did you get the inspiration for your ideas like the Velo project, like Factory the project?
They usually come from a core need that I've had myself. So with the Velo project, for example, I could not get a decent cup of coffee anywhere in that area. And the other thing I found really hard to get was really good, fresh, local, seasonal produce, and quickly. So that was a response to a need I saw in the market, and it was easy to meet it because there were so many other people that felt the same way. And usually if you feel something, other people will feel it too.
Cool. What's next for you?
Well, as I said, I'm working with Storytell Productions. I'm in the process, very excited about this, collaborating with a guy called Matt Ward, who is he's a very well-known musical theatre character. He's done West Side Story. He's a NIDA graduate. So we're working together on some music concepts, and we're sort of doing a cinematic combination of his very classical, theatrical approach to music and my more pop, edgy, conceptual approach to music. So we're bringing those together and taking a very cinematic journey. So it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Claire.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for being our very first Be the Change conversation person.
Thank you.
If people wanted to contact you, lastly, how would they do that?
Give me a call, 042 44 44205.